clairvoyant and you trust yourself.
I do.
So whatever you say, that's what comes to you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to just flow with you. You ask me a question, I'm going to respond. I'll be a great listener.
I just have been feeling so disconnected from other women of color out here where I live. But I've been doing this spiritual work for a while, but intensely for the last 2 years, just reading and studying and really going back and learning the history. Now I'm recognizing when I go into these different metaphysical shops, sitting in these groups, never knowing that they were talking about our culture.
Talking about you, Janet.
Talking about me.
Yes, yes.
And I was thinking, I'm ready to get to that next level. I need to reach out and find a teacher, a mentor, a group of something. And you literally showed up at my doorstep. God just answered my prayer like that. So we were just talking about how auspicious this time is right now. Like everybody's ready. Like if you weren't ready before,
you're ready now.
You're ready now.
Yes, it's true.
Because you can feel the shift. Well, I can feel the shift.
Well, you know what it is. The healer is awakening. And that healer is inspired by the first women of civilization, our ancestors. And they put the knowledge on the walls that one day when we were ready, we would wake up. This is the awakening. This is truly the great awakening. And I'm seeing it too myself. Now, those who would never think about wellness and healing, when I was coming up, I started when I was 16, 1969. I was looking totally like the oddball in my family, in my community. But what kept me moving is because I was extremely sick.
Mm-hmm.
I had chronic asthma, I had allergies, I had hay fever, I had eczema, I had PMS. Every month I was excruciating wound pain, I had headaches, I had a number of issues. So as Fannie Lou Hammond said, I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. So when you have had enough, then you call out from the depths of your soul, and then everything begins to come to you. Everything comes to you, just like you brought me in. You brought me in, and I said earlier, I said that when you made that call out as a healer, really coming to her fullness now, I said you brought in heal thyself, because that's what I body, heal thyself. You brought in sacred woman, that work. You brought in man heal thyself. You brought into the city of wellness. You brought into Sacred Woman Journal. You brought into Planet Heal. Because it's at this house that I finally have the manuscript in my hand. I've been working for 5 years. I just got it a few days ago. Done. So much happened at this threshold in this house. And nothing's by happenstance. It's because you called it and you're ready. You said I want to connect with other sisters like myself. You've been in all the European circles. And they are totally identifying with our path, but they're not saying it's our path. But it's not for them, it's for us to know. What helped me when I was working on Sacred Woman Book, I was working for 7 years. I was researching. Well, I was married to a priest of the Kemetic legacy, Senor Onguasama Senputa. So for our 19 years of marriage, we're both about studying. It's about studying this ancient spiritual lifestyle and holistic health. So one of the things that I did within that relationship, he was the consultant of the book. But also I did my own studies. I went to the library. It was the library in Brooklyn Museum Library in Brooklyn. And for those 3 years I asked several questions. Where did all this come from? Holistic health. It kept showing up. Reiki, Asa never had the original energy workers. I studied herbs. Where did that knowledge come from? Ancient African Nile Valley studies. Aromatherapy. I kept studying color therapy. Yoga, I'm a yogini. Meditation. Affirmations. Vegetarian lifestyle. Hydrotherapy. Reflexology. Astrology. On and on and on. Whatever you would study that is called New Age, it's all ancient practice of our ancestors. So I started to really claim it even deeper. I was a healer for over 2 decades before I was writing the book. So when I realized that everything I was doing was based on our culture, it was such a healing to my soul. And then I kept studying, and I walked into a paragraph that I tell the women every day, all the time, which is the foundation of Sacred Woman. Even though the book was complete, it grew out. We are the women. This is on the temple walls of Kevin, who lighten the darkness. We have come to light the darkness. It is light. We have overcome the destroyers. Toxic living, toxic food, toxic thought, toxic work, toxic relationship. That's what it's saying. We have overcome the destroyers. We are there for those who weep, who hide their faces and sunk down. They want to put us there. We are the women. We are the healers. Mm-hmm. That's our culture. So with that, I walk with power when I tell the women, you're the healer. And you're not only the healer, but you're the healer of your whole home, your family. Mm-hmm. You're the healer of your own community. But then you have to learn the tools. You use your tools. Some of them you already have. It's in your memory. That intuition, where we pick up vibrations and we know certain things. We wake up saying, I know, sometimes days, times, places, deja vu moments. Your intuition is always there. You know, that aha moment, it's like, wait a minute. And when we don't listen, then we say, well, I should have listened. To what? To the Most High within us, talking and guiding us. That's what brought me into your home. You trust me. Woke up one morning, you said. And you reached out to Zanetta, the sacred sister, really. And then she said Queen Afua needs, and she's in LA, and it just all worked out in divine order. And since I've been here for these last, I think, 7 days or so, I've been working every day on this project in that room. Yeah. It's been very peaceful and very wonderful here. Very grateful for your vision. And so what would be your gift? Your gift really is to go head out and begin to do your work and be in circles of women. And you'll just walk with me now. I'm going to be in LA. Yay. But I will never say I'm moving to a location. I say I'm expanding.
Yes.
That's an example. And I remember speaking to Laura London on the phone during the consultation, and Nipsey Hussle was in the living room. And I would say things that I want her to do for the relationship, for herself. And she would tell him, well, I never spoke to him. And I was working through the women, the feminine principle. And she started to take the journey. And it's strengthened the fully. Mm-hmm. And so when we saw, most of us probably saw them talking together. She asked him several questions. She asked him, what book do you think I'm reading? He says, I don't know the name of the book, I know the name of the author.
What was the last book I read?
I don't know the title, I know the author. I know it's a Queen Afua book.
There you go, Sacred Woman.
Yeah. I mean,
she said Sacred Woman.
You know
he says, I'm in tune. So he was telling her, continue Sacred Woman. She told me, he said 3 times, continue doing Sacred Woman. Continue doing Sacred Woman. It's going to really bring you up to where I know you are.
Yeah.
You understand? So that is how it's been working. It's a formula. You heal a woman, as my friend and Prima says, you heal a nation. You heal a woman. The woman is the centerpiece of the household, of the family, of the community. Everything comes out of her center. So, woman of her mind, heart, sacred seed. The whole planet comes out of her being, her center. So it's being that she's the center, she impacts everything and everyone. So when the woman elevates mentally, emotionally, physically, psychologically, relationship, self-love, self-care, it's a ray of light that comes out of her without her even saying it. It's a light that comes out of her, and people begin to hear. It may take a few months, a few years, whatever time it takes. Your rays are getting stronger. That's what I'm saying, a circle of other women. You can't just say, oh, I got it, been there, done that, took the studies, I read the book. You got to get into women are communal. We work best together. But if women are sick, we hurt each other. If women are on the path of wellness, then we lift each other up. So the formulation is, I teach you in a circle of women. The circle of women help each other. Because they all have a gift. And the gifts, when you start cleaning up a woman, her gift starts to pour out of her. And she shares with her sister. I set the tone, like a rock in the water, reverberates out. But the ripple effect of the women all in a circle. And they start lifting each other up because that's the frequency of the word.
Right. Because we've been so conditioned to look outside of ourselves for validation, for love, for all of these things outside of ourselves, and we're not setting standards.
Well, once you get to the standard of self-love, self-empowerment, strength, waking up that inner healer, getting your mind clear, you can't then say, I just want a man.
Right.
I just want any man.
Right.
Or I'm willing to have him do anything and get away with anything. He will never grow.
Right.
You know, I believe Mr. Farrakhan said a man is as high as his woman. You know, if the woman elevates, the men will elevate automatically. So we have to hold on to our seat of power. The name of that seat is us. If we sit on our seat of power without ego, but love, high frequency love, forgiveness, compassion, mercy, clean living, over time they will be impacted by us.
Yeah.
Whether it be giving them more salads in the house or renting them a bath. Men take quick showers in and out.
Yes.
Rent them a bath, all of a sudden their heart becomes lighter, softer, they're not so angry. You smudge your house down with frankincense and myrrh before everybody wakes up, raise the vibration of the household. You start dressed more beautifully in the home. They're going to be impacted. You start singing as opposed to complaining. You know, you start healing your heart from your mother and your father's relationships, and you won't bring that garbage and waste into the relationship. We have to heal ourselves before we take a relationship on.
Yes.
Because if we don't, we'll just repeat our father's pain, our mother's pain, our hurt, our rage from the past, all the dead bodies that we carried along the way, from relationship that didn't work out to relationship that didn't work. We get to a point where I'm angry at all men, I'm angry at all women, and they're just all the same.
Mm-hmm.
But really, it was never about them and those. It was about a self-transformation. And so that, in terms of healing a man, it comes from a healed woman.
Yes.
That's how it works out.
Those are jewels.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yes.
Isn't that? And it's simpler, too. That you don't have to say, well, why don't you do what I do? What? No, don't even go there.
Right.
Just go deeper. If he does not hear you, go deeper with your healing.
Mm-hmm.
Go so deep. There's so much light is coming out. Everything you say, everything you do. Oh, you're not getting it? That's no problem. Go deeper. Do a deeper cleanse.
Mm-hmm.
Do more juicing. Get into your healing baths. Do your prayers. Get up in the morning at 4 o'clock. Listen to the Most High talk and give you guidance. And then one day you'll say, you know, can I have a little bit of that salad? You know, can I, what are you doing? I want to do what you're doing. Could you show me? And now the husbands and the mates, they're asking their women, their mates, can I get some of that? Can you run me a bath? They come in for counseling, spiritual counseling, because the good gift that women have is intuition.
Mm-hmm.
A wise man will say, what do you think about this, honey? And what do you feel about that? And if she's in tune, because she has done her work, she'll be able to say, this is what you do. It's not the man who runs the head of the household. It's called balance.
Mm-hmm.
Right brain, feminine principle, left brain, masculine principle, they come together. That's what makes the household strong and empowered. Not someone under, but working together in tandem. In our ancient teachings, it was 2 thrones.
Yes.
As, the great mother, Asar, the great father. They work together to uplift a family and a nation. That's our model. We bring that model back. And the first one is for the women to recognize her power. And the melanin women particularly, they're the most gifted ones.
We're the most gifted ones, and we don't realize it. We don't recognize it.
We're getting free now. That's what we were talking about earlier. We're starting to wake up. And we're not going to go back to sleep this time. And we remember who we are. This is an affirmation that came to me. One time I was on the phone talking to a medical doctor long distance, but she was calling for counseling. And one of the things she was talking to me about was so involved to the conversation. She said, is this a religion that you're dealing and talking about? I said, no, it's a way of life. And matter of fact, Sacred Woman is about all the spiritual houses bringing us all together because there was a root. And that lifestyle is ancient African Nile Valley. Lessons of medicine, natural healing. One of the teachers inspired by Imhotep, father of modern medicine and ancient medicine. And then there was the Mother Ast of a whole civilization. So he said, the Hasidic Jew was outside of my business, and he saw an ankh on the ground. And an ankh represents a family. The top of the ankh represents the feminine principle, the womb, the woman. The bottom, the base, it holds up the womb. The phallus, it represents the masculine principle. And on the very sides, it represents the children, It represents a family, the continuation of life. That's what the ark represents. So in that, he looked at these symbols that was painted beautifully on the ground. And while I was on the call with the doctor, telling her, no, this is about a way of life, holistic healing. That's our culture. And we embrace it and we get well. We don't have to have fibroid tumors and high blood pressure and diabetes and cancer and all those issues. That's modern man and toxic living and slavery. Dietary slavery, mental slavery, all that. So as he was saying, as he was looking at the ark, he said, those people are dead. Those people are no more. He was appalled. He was upset. The original people. The Lox is us. So, that night, I'm on the phone, so I couldn't even go out. I wasn't supposed to. That's why I was supposed to just pick up him saying, those people are no more. And I got up at 4 o'clock in the morning. That's melanin hour. You want to give a question, get up. And you will hear the voice of the Most High speak through you. And during this, I said, took a deep breath, several breaths, tuning in, took my tea, I lit my candle, and then I took my pen and I channeled. They say our way is dead. They say our way is no more. And that the ancient healing now valley legacy with thousands of years ago. But we are here, and we do it. It is large in our DNA, tapped down deep in our melanakomor. So we traveled deep within, and we fasted, cleaned up, and we prayed. And then one day, this is the day, this is the frequency. That's all we're seeing it, one by one, then 2 by 2, then thousands and millions will begin to wake up to the ancient healing now valley legacy, our culture. And we are here, and we do remember. It is coming back. That's why you say, I'm feeling something. Something is shifting in my life. It's like a rumbling in our souls, and we know it. I've never seen so many women come to Sacred Women to say, I feel that I'm a healer. So I see Reiki practitioners come and take Sacred Women, doulas, midwives, physicians, astrologers, chiropractors, chefs, vegan chefs, yoginis, meditation practitioners. These are women that are coming, and not that they haven't. I have to get them started because they've already started, but they know that they must come together as community of other women on the same path, and then I give them my portion, which activates their portion, and then we're all spreading this healing like flowers, gardening the entire planet. But we have the Global Sacred Village. Give thanks, Queen Esther. She is the dean of the Global Sacred Village. But we were put together for 35 years. We've been together. She took the post 5 years ago. She's been strong with me ever since. She's my Asnevet head, sister to sister. It's the original sister to sister. They're named the Asnevet heads. When the sisters come into the circle, they get a chance to meet their Asnevet heads. They're sisters, and their sisters, they help each other.
Right.
It is so amazing. And then I teach other women, once they get to the first level of the rites of passage, how to become practitioners of the sacred women work. And they're the ones who help uplift the new ones coming in. And then they spread the word. And it's just, we're just spreading it. It's spreading. So
Yeah, let's talk about detoxification. Okay.
within detoxification, I have divided into 4 realms. Realm 1, flexitarian.
Okay.
Flexitarian are those who eat chicken and fish, but they've stopped eating beef, pork, goat, lamb. They stopped microwaving, junk food, fast processed, cut out the dairy or bat, not eating late and then laying down. So that's the flexitarian.
I would fall into that category.
Most fall there. And if I said everyone has to be a vegan vegetarian, it would not work. Because then you'll lose a lot of people. That's what I realized. People were like, oh, I have all this knowledge, I have all this information, but they can't make the transition. So this is about transition. And be where you are, be thoroughly in it. Because in that flexitarian, you're having your vegetable juice, you're having your 2 salads, you're having your fruits, you're taking your herb teas to cleanse. You're doing your work. You're doing some enemas, or you're doing some healing baths, or you're doing extra fitness. So you're having a healthier lifestyle. Then there's the next level. That's level 1. Level 2 is the vegetarian. So you're cooking, steaming, baking, not frying. You are some of the lacto vegetarians, maybe having eggs, organic eggs. Well, almond milk is the only one. I say no cow's milk. And not even eggs, no dairy. But that's a lacto vegetarian. But I don't really talk so much lacto, I just say vegetarian.
Can I ask you a question about the almond milk?
Well, I've heard that it has arsenic in it. But I think if it's organic, that it's fine.
It's okay.
I think it's fine. But there's also walnut milk and sunflower milk. And what's the other one for the men? Pumpkin seed for the prostate.
Right.
So there's all, you can have all types of milk. It's a formulation of how to make it. Basically, it's a cup of whatever that seed or nut is with 2 glasses of water out, distilled, purified water. Put dates, I don't really believe in honey, and all of the other,
Sweeteners.
I said just fruits.
Okay.
Dried fruit, soak it. Have a jar of water that you have soaked your dates or your raisins or your currants
Okay.
that are organic. And you pour that water off.
Okay.
And that's your sweetener. You could use some cinnamon or some nutmeg, things like that. And then that's when you strain it and then you have your milk.
Why not honey?
Well, that would go in the vegetarian life, but not
Okay.
so much vegan because it's an insect.
Ah, okay. See, I'm learning. Learning something. Okay.
So, and then most of the time they cook it, they heat it, they treat it.
And then that
And
destroys.
then it destroys the minerals. It moves into a normal table sugar.
Okay.
Once they heat it, and we know sugar. Well, if you don't know, sugar eats away the
Right.
brain, the memory, the bones, causing arthritis, the nervous system, causing stress. It depletes.
Okay.
It's only a few molecules away from crack and cocaine,
Right.
so it's a dangerous drug, and everybody's on it.
Everybody's.
And it's in every food because once
It's
it's in the food, you're addicted to the food. You think it's the food that tastes good, no, it's the addiction.
I know I'm addicted to sugar
Mm-hmm.
because I did a detox. This was years ago, and I had to cut out the white everything. And I woke up the third day with a candy wrapper in my hand, and I had gotten up out the bed, walked to the store, got a candy bar, and was trying to figure out what to do with this wrapper before I realized what I had done.
You were
And I
drugged
was
out.
like-
You know.
And I was fidgety.
Going out at night to go get it. That's a drug. That's a drug.
Right.
Go get your
I
hit.
was like, I really am addicted to sugar.
Go get your hit. But even just getting the fact you get up. How many have gotten up and done the same thing? In my years back when I was a child, I remember getting up and going out late at night to get some ice cream. It is a drug, and it keeps you coming back for more.
Yeah.
So we have all kinds of drugs,
And addictions.
And these
that
are
we need
addictions
to-
that we need to let it go. Well, that's where the formulas come in. Okay, then so the third level, you're the vegetarian, and they take out their diet, all animal products, all plant-based protein.
Okay.
That's the beans and the peas and the avocados and the nuts and the seeds and the sprouts, right? And then you have the vegan, and I call it raw food vegan. And inside of that, my son Supernova coined it as chlorophyll. I'm a chlorophyll.
Okay.
And this, how many of us? 5 of us? I 90% agree. So that's the vegan, the life of vegan. That's the third level. And then including some who do fasting, and that's therapeutic fasting. So vegetable juices for building and fruit juices for detoxification.
Okay.
And then your herb teas and your healing baths and your water.
Okay.
So those 4 levels is what I teach for those who are on the detox. So you detox at your level. So if you've been eating heavy meat and junk and fast and processed, you may go to flexitarian. If you've already been a flexitarian eating meat, you might go to vegetarian. If you've been a vegetarian for a long time, you may go to live foods. If you've been doing live foods for a long time, you may go to fast. You don't do too much and then fall off and then go to the other extreme. Many people, they'll change their diet, they'll call their diets. That's it, I did it, and the cravings are still there, so they have to detox the system in a way that they can handle the shift. Right? So there's a lot of closet vegetarians who've taken a lot of trainings, and they say, well, and they don't tell nobody because it's an embarrassment to their own selves. So then I don't feel they have to go through all of that. Just find out where you are, and then grow yourself up, right? But now inside of that, I have formulas that have been given to me. And these formulas, one is the Green Life Nutritional Formula. And I've noticed that all diseases are only 2 things. They have different names according to where it is in the body. So if you have headaches, that's where the poisons are in the brain. If you have asthma, then the congestion is in the lungs. If you have a fibroid tumor, the congestion is in the uterus. That's crystallized mucus. That's all it is. So why are we cutting out a uterus? Because of crystallized mucus. We just have to detox it like we detox from a cold. You liquefy it and you will drain out vaginally. That's why I do womb wellness. Yeah, I'm the mother of womb wellness. That's what they tell me. I accept the position because I really want people to like to see that once you do the womb healing, you don't heal just the physical, you heal the womb, the mind, the heart, the womb, the heart, the mind, and everything becomes transformed and it reflects in this condition of our wombs. But going back to the formulas, you have the green light to rejuvenate all your systems, your memory, your skin, your nervous system, the bones, the joints. So inside of that, arthritis will begin to leave, depression begins to leave, brain fog leaves, headaches, mood swings, dull skin, because it's about the plants. So from the ocean, you have the spirulina, that's the seaweed. And then from the earth element, we have the wheatgrass. So I put those together, and that's the chlorophyll. But there's all kinds of greens that you can work with. The main thing is to get on a green lifestyle. And the green is literally drinking sunlight. So through photosynthesis from the sun, it goes into the plant, gets pigmentation. So when you have a glass of green juice, that's how you get radiant. You get the energy gets up, or your mind is clearer because you're taking in sunlight, right? And that's the electricity, that's energy, that's vitality. So we don't have enough sun. With sun people, we get drained. We get sun for the foods and the sunlight. We're superhuman. We're supernatural. We have tremendous amount of health and energy and vitality. And so that's the green life formula. Take it 3 times a day, you're not hungry. So you're just grabbing stuff and you're hurting your body. It balances out your emotions. So then you have the master herb of 13 herbs, from the mullein for the lungs to the dandelion for the iron, for the echinacea for the blood cleansing. And so in all the 13 herbs, I clean out a different organ in the body, so all the organs get a chance to detox. All cravings are in the bloodline. So when you clean out the blood, you clean out the desire for junk, fast, flesh, processed, alcohol, any form of intoxicants, including toxic relationships. You're addicted to relationships, abusive ones maybe. So you clean out that blood, you don't have any more desires. After 21 days, 3 bottles of that, 3 or 4 cups a day, all addictions are gone.
What kind of symptoms would one expect to have as they are detoxing?
There's about 20 things that can happen as you're cleansing. Waste can come, because waste is now shifting and moving. Someone's going to come out of your eyes, so it's like, wait a minute, I can hardly see, or you have mucus stuff. Or someone come out your ears, your ears start popping, or you have this wax build up, things are moving in your hearing, because your hearing is trying to get keen. Your eyes' vision is trying to come back. Some will drain from the brain down to the nose, so you're blowing your nose to get a cold. You don't have a cold, it's draining the mucus that's in the head that we call the brain tube. Some will travel from the breast, so we have cystic breasts. From the breast, the large and large thyroid start to move, come out through your mouth. Some will come out from the breast, chest, out through your glands, or the arms. Some, women, vaginal discharges, the tumor, the cyst, heavy bleeding and clotting will come out vaginally. And women will go from 7 days to 6 to 5 over a season to 1, 2, or 3 days of menstrual with no PMS, as we cleanse our womb. So what is also the formulas that help that is the colonies and the herbal laxative. Those 2 formulas break down kidney stones, gallstones, and colon stones. And when you open up the colon there for 15, 20 years. When you open up the colon, then the waste can go downstream. If the colon has any impaction, the waste comes upstream. It comes out through the skin, or it comes out through our attitude, or comes out through our nasty words that we maybe say about somebody else, or gossip. That's all that poison coming up, right? Or how you think. You might just think negative thoughts, or you're thinking angry all the time, or you want to get back at somebody, you want revenge. It's all that poison coming up. So I've learned not to react when people who are mad and crazy and want to change with me. I just say, forgive me for all my shortcomings. And I said, would you like some tea? They can curse me out because I don't feel well.
Well, it's important for us to recognize that too, so that we don't think the opposite. Oh, this is making me sick.
I don't speak about what I'm doing in Sacred Woman unless they pick up the book. I have headaches, I have depression, I have arthritis, I have eczema. Fatima, who's on the other end, just called from Washington, D.C., she's there not for Sacred Women. She's there to talk about their illnesses. They have addictions from drugs, from alcohol. They're obese. They're frustrated. They're depressed. Once they go through a season, they have the formulas. They now know they've learned the lifestyle. They're taking my 4 workshops. Now they're in it, right? Then they say, you know what? I feel so good. They start looking at other books. They look at the City of Wells. They say, there's recipes in there. Well, they learned that inside the clinic, the wellness clinic. Food is medicine. Okay, got the recipes. Okay, wait a minute, Sacred Woman. What's that all about? Wait a minute. That's about womb healing there? It's just another language.
Yeah.
Oh, Tahuti's about the word? What we say we create? Oh, I can do that. Wait a minute. Best is about getting unstuck because we like all the time we just travel, we can't go forward. Oh, wait a minute. Heteru is about checking with your inner child and meeting with your inner child and bringing your inner child into your life now, that Buddha little girl. So that's why I don't feel beautiful, because I'm still feeling hurt because of her and what was said to me as a young girl. Wow, wait a minute. I can heal my mother and my father relationships by forgiving based on our ancestors and the 42 laws of my aunt. Wait a minute, let me tip in here. I'm a little nervous. Is it going to take my religion? No, it's going to strengthen your spiritual life. And that's why I said that circle. We say, Sacred Woman, Muslim Sacred Woman, alhamdulillah. We say, Christian Sacred Woman, hallelujah. We say, Hare Krishna Sacred Woman, Hare Krishna, Hare Bo. We say, You're a Sacred Woman, Ashe. Well, Kemetic is all based on Kemetic, Hetapuru. So we actually, Hebrew Israelites, Shalom. In that circle, we call all the women, and we say we represent all the women in the circle we come to. So when women are nervous, they come that first, when they hear that, they say, okay, they start to exhale a little bit. And then they come to the class, and they say, oh, this is practical. I need this. I'm not afraid of this. That's how we get to graduation, and you start hearing their stories from death to resurrection, and the Tahuti sisters come up, and they've had womb transformations. They're not angry at the men anymore. They've gotten rid of their tumors, or they're not bleeding. They went from dying in pain and angry to women who have blossomed and no womb pain. Is that something that we need right now?
Yes.
And when they hear it, and I actually laid out for them, they said, I'm not afraid of that woman that's me. And I tell them they're their own healer. How could I become that? Well, think about it. When anyone in your family's in pain, who do they come to? The mother. The children come. Your mate comes. They want that hug. They want that soup you make because it's the love. So I bring it to where anybody can receive it. But if one is nervous about it, someone will tell me, I'm not interested in anything spiritual. I have my own pain. I said, well, wonderful. You have pain, I'll help you again. What else? What is it that you come to see me for? And I will focus. Some don't want to, women don't want to come for sacred women work, but they want to come because they have a woman issue. And I take care of 40 women issues. So what's the woman problem? And I will help them, and they'll feel their power from that zone.
Okay.
You're going to reach them. You're going to reach them.
Mm-hmm.
And see, what you study with me, then you'll know how to approach no matter what the circle, because you'll start doing circles. You start sacred woman, sister circles, you'll learn. Once you get the first level, the rites of passage, you'll come into practitioner. Then you'll learn the womb, breast, heart practitioner work. You'll have womb circles, and then you'll have womb yoga. I'm a yogini, so you'll have yoga circles based on this work.
Awesome.
Awesome. And we're going to be there for all the sisters at every level. It is awesome when you can connect to any and everyone. Let me tell you, myself and Queen Esther was at the memorial, and I had my book with me. I had the book Second Woman. One sister, she had hot pants and pink hair. You know what she told me? She says, I just ordered that book, Second Woman. And it was a lot of that energy.
Yes.
And so it's our community. It's hitting mainstream, and now we're starting to come into this awareness.
Yes.
Period.
Yeah.
It's that time.
It's that time. So thank you again.
It's a first. It's a first.
It's a first.
It's a